The search for truly passive income.
Yeah.
It often demands a strategy that is, well, anything but passive.
Right.
We're talking about using AI to generate knowledge, to generate visual assets at a scale that was just unimaginable before.
And that's the core conflict, isn't it? I mean, our sources are showing that some of the top digital entrepreneurs are pulling in over $90,000 a year
Wow.
just from selling simple, downloadable templates. These AI-generated infographics on a platform like Etsy. And that revenue, it's not an accident, it's engineered.
Welcome to this deep dive. Our mission today is really to give you the blueprint. We're unpacking the strategies that turn those raw AI outputs, like summarized insights from a research tool, maybe data from Notebook LM, into reliable, scalable cash flow.
And we've got a really tight roadmap for you. First, we're going to tackle the brutal economics of volume, why you have to abandon perfection for scale. Then we'll break down the 4 key revenue models that fit different stages of your growth.
And finally, we're going to analyze the 2 most critical elements of success: the distribution strategy that actually rewards that high volume, and then a deep look at the 6 specific infographic archetypes that are, well, proven to convert viewers into customers.
Yeah.
This is all about maximizing your time, so let's get right to the math.
So the first critical insight here is just recognizing the mental mistake, the one that kills most creative endeavors.
Okay.
The traditional approach says, I need one perfect, highly polished graphic every single week.
Right.
That's 52 assets a year. I mean, that is a guaranteed path to slow traffic growth and, honestly, just burnout.
52 assets, that actually sounds respectable, though. For a single creator, I mean, that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
So what does the winning strategy demand instead?
It demands what we call volume thinking. We have to shift the mindset right away.
Okay.
The goal isn't 1 a week. It's 5 to 10 daily assets.
Daily.
Daily. I mean, just think about that difference. That pushes you toward 3,000 working assets per year.
It's an exponential gap between the traditional way and this AI-driven growth.
At that level of volume, though, it sounds exhausting. How do we make sure we don't just massively dilute the quality when we're aiming for 3,000 assets? It feels like prioritizing quantity over substance.
And you're absolutely right to question that. But the truth is, the algorithms, whether it's Google, Pinterest, LinkedIn, they reward consistency and frequency. More posts just means faster testing. If you're putting out 10 unique visuals a day, you find your winning topics and graphic types in days, not months.
So it's like stacking Lego blocks of data. You're building a compounding traffic engine.
Exactly. So volume isn't just about having more stuff out there. It's about generating a higher frequency of data points for the algorithm to learn from.
It's a testing strategy disguised as a posting strategy.
Precisely. And, to sustain that kind of volume generating thousands of unique visuals, we inevitably run into a very human challenge. Prompt fatigue. Okay, help our listener define that.
Okay.
What's the difference between, say, prompt fatigue and something like prompt drift?
So prompt fatigue is what happens to you. The creator just gets creatively tired, runs out of unique ways to ask the AI for new content. You start, defaulting to really basic instructions.
Yeah.
Prompt drift, on the other hand, is what happens to the AI. The output quality or the style, it just subtly changes over time, even if you're using the exact same prompt over and over. I mean, I still wrestle with prompt drift myself sometimes. It forces me to constantly fine-tune the negative instructions.
That's a great distinction. So the solution can't just rely on brute force human creativity every single day.
Correct. The core solution is a prompt library strategy.
A library.
You create specific battle-tested templates for specific graphic type statistical comparison process. You spend the initial effort perfecting maybe 15 or 20 of those templates. Then each day you're just filling in the data blanks from your, say, Notebook LM research.
But that just speeds everything up.
It accelerates production, it minimizes drift, and it makes sure you hit those numbers without burning out. Success here really comes from structured iteration, not perfect first drafts.
Okay, let's unpack this. If volume is the engine, how do we make sure we're fueling it with the right cash flow models? Let's talk about how this high volume content actually gets you paid.
Well, we've got 4 paths, and they really cater to different risk levels and growth stages.
Model 1 seems to be the fastest route to initial money, becoming a service provider or, a freelancer.
This is your immediate cash flow. You're selling a direct service, using your AI skill to save a client time. You can pitch your work on platforms like Upwork, Fiverr, or just do direct outreach on LinkedIn.
And the income potential is real.
It is. Top designers are charging anywhere from $95 to $450 plus per infographic project. They can command up to $150 an hour for just consulting or design work.
And the ceiling here is pretty substantial. I mean, sources note top freelancers are comfortably breaking 6 figures annually just by using these AI tools to boost their own productivity.
Mm-hmm.
But model 2 is where the scalability really kicks in, the digital product seller.
This is the dream, right? The create once, sell forever model. This is for long-term wealth. You package up those successful templates, the ones you already built for your prompt library,
Right.
as downloadable products for like Canva or PowerPoint. And then you sell them on marketplaces like Etsy, which, believe it or not, still has this massive unmet demand for niche digital bundles.
I just want to pause on that for a second. We have a really compelling case study here.
Okay.
One seller specializing in digital planners and templates on Etsy generated $93,534
Yeah.
in a single year from this highly scalable passive template income. I mean, that should just stop the scroll for anyone listening right now.
Yeah.
That's the power of scale when you apply it to digital assets.
Absolutely. Then you have Model 3, which is the content creator. It's the longest game, for sure, but it offers the highest long-term upside. It's built on attention and authority.
And infographics are perfect for this. They're inherently sticky content. They summarize complex ideas, they're digestible, they're shareable, which, as you said, helps stop the scroll. And that translates directly to fast audience growth.
And you can look at the examples. Visual Capitalist uses its content to attract major sponsors for research. The infographic show on a platform like YouTube is estimated to generate millions a year just from ad revenue.
Wow.
It just shows the value of owning that visual narrative.
So that brings us to Model 4, the hybrid approach, which just seems like the common sense, stable path.
It's the most robust strategy, really. Phase 1, you start with services, you generate that immediate cash flow, and you learn exactly what the market wants to pay for. Phase 2, you use those service profits to fund the development of your scalable digital products and your content channels. It balances that urgency for cash with the power of long-term asset creation.
That's a very practical sequence.
Yeah.
You start with the hustle, you learn the demand, and then you build the machine. But here's a question. If someone is successful in Model 1, what is the single most critical step to transition efficiently to Model 2, to productization?
You must productize the specific templates that clients frequently requested.
So now we've got the models and the high-volume strategy sorted. We need to talk about getting those 3,000 assets in front of eyeballs. I've heard it said that distribution is half the business. Is that accurate?
I'd say it's more than half. I mean, creating the infographic, that's the art. Distribution is the business operation.
Right.
And the sources, they repeatedly point to one critical, often underestimated secret weapon for this kind of visual content: Pinterest.
You know, a lot of people, myself included, kind of think of Pinterest as a social media feed for like wedding planners and home decor. So why is it consistently called the secret weapon for this strategy?
Because Pinterest, fundamentally, is a visual search engine. It's not a social media platform.
Interesting.
A graphic, a pin that you post there, has a lifespan measured in months, sometimes years. It's driving traffic long after you posted it. It acts like evergreen SEO for your visuals, which is totally unlike the, fleeting 24-hour lifespan of content on Instagram or X.
So we're treating it like a long-term content bank. And what's the recommended volume for a platform that operates like a search engine?
The recommended volume is high, which just reinforces our whole strategy. 10 to 20 unique pins daily.
Daily.
This maximizes your search visibility, and it gives the algorithm constant, fresh inputs to test.
That is a serious commitment.
Yeah.
What about the other, maybe more typical platforms?
Well, Instagram still needs volume. You should aim for 2 to 3 feed posts daily, focusing on simple, attractive graphics, and this is crucial, using questions in the captions to boost engagement right away.
Okay.
LinkedIn, that needs a different touch. You want to use more authoritative business insight graphics, posting maybe 1 to 2 times daily to attract those corporate clients.
And the blog post, the high-value asset, that still has a role to play.
Oh, absolutely. Every high-value graphic, especially the statistical and comparison types, it should be supported by a dedicated blog post. 300 to 500 words of text.
Just for the SEO.
Exactly. That supporting text is essential for traditional SEO, and it helps that graphic become a backlink magnet, driving massive authority back to your own website.
So if we connect the strategy back to actually making money, what are the 3 strongest tactics we should be using once the traffic starts to flow?
Okay, so affiliate integration, platform ad revenue, and then selling your own products. Affiliate links are great for quick wins, especially when you embed them right under a comparison graphic.
Makes sense.
Ad revenue is great supplemental income, but it requires massive scale. We're talking usually 100,000 plus monthly views to be really meaningful.
So if we're connecting this to the bigger picture, the critical insight must be about control and margin, right?
Exactly. The most profitable and sustainable path is always the offer you fully control and own. Ads and affiliate income, they should support the business and accelerate growth, but your primary focus has to remain on generating sales for your own products.
Whether that's digital templates or advanced courses.
That's how you capture the maximum value from every single viewer.
We've established the need for high volume. We've got the best distribution channels. Now, the final piece of this puzzle, making sure the content we create actually converts. We need to match the graphics form to the business goal. Is it awareness, authority, or direct sales?
Yeah, picking the right archetype matters way more than, the shade of blue you choose. It's all about utility. So let's start with the one that gives you the most immediate cash return, the comparison infographic.
This is what you call the money asset.
Precisely. This format, it just has the highest conversion rate for affiliate revenue or for direct product sales. It directly solves the listener's dilemma. Think product A versus product B reviews, analyzing two competing technologies or services.
And I'm assuming the visual elements here are critical.
Oh, they're non-negotiable. You have to use split layouts, mirrored columns, and really clear check marks or X's to visually guide the reader to the superior option.
The one with your affiliate link?
The one with your affiliate link attached. It's fast visual decision-making.
That is a genius use of visual content for direct sales. But, doesn't a hard comparison graphic risk alienating half your audience who might prefer the losing product?
That's where the high volume strategy comes right back in. You're not building one perfect comparison for all time. You're testing 20 different comparisons until you find the few that generate reliable traffic and conversions. The goal is conversion, not neutrality.
So for authority building and lead generation, we're pivoting to two other crucial types. First up is the statistical infographic.
Yeah, these statistical visuals are your authority assets. They visualize hard data, surveys, metrics. These are gold because they are highly citable. When a major blog or publication needs a quick visual for a statistic, they link back to you. This drives immense SEO value, and it positions you as a thought leader, especially on LinkedIn.
And the process infographic, the how-to asset, that's perfect for qualified lead magnets.
That's your tutorial graphic. If you're teaching a specific skill and your goal is selling a course or high-value consulting, this format is ideal. It clearly shows steps, workflows, a logical sequence. Someone who downloads a detailed workflow diagram is a highly qualified lead for your next product.
We kind of rushed through the last three archetypes in our source material. Let's give them the depth they deserve for our listener. What about informational graphics?
Informational graphics are foundational. They're designed for viral reach, for attracting new followers by just breaking down basic, high-level concepts simply.
Low friction.
Very low friction, high shareability. Think simple explainers of complex topics like what is blockchain or the 4 types of AI. They're just for building awareness.
And the timeline graphic.
Timeline graphics tell a story or they track development. They're super effective for case studies, showing a client journey from problem to solution, or for sales decks that illustrate the historical growth of an industry. They build trust by showing a clear, linear path.
And finally, the geographic archetype.
Geographic graphics really serve niche expertise where location matters, like real estate analysis, political polling, or logistics. Using maps, heat maps, color coding, it lets you quickly convey regional differences. They signal you have specialized knowledge.
So if the primary goal for a new creator is rapid authority building, let's say, to attract high-paying consulting work, which archetype should they prioritize right alongside the statistical graphic?
The process infographic is best for tutorials that generate qualified leads.
So let's bring this whole deep dive together.
Yeah, the mission seems pretty clear. Success requires a commitment to high volume. We're talking 3,000 assets a year, and you achieve that by using prompt libraries to avoid that creative fatigue. And you have to use Pinterest as your long-term search engine.
And you have to match the right graphic type to the right platform. Don't use a viral informational graphic when you really should be using a comparison chart for affiliate revenue. Match the form to the intent.
And this is a really powerful concept because it changes the nature of your output. Every single graphic you create isn't just a daily post, it is a long-term working asset.
Mm-hmm.
A Pinterest pin or a cited statistical graphic from today is still driving qualified traffic a year from now.
Whoa. Imagine scaling that. 3,000 infographics, each one generating just a tiny incremental amount of traffic and revenue every single month. I mean, that compound effect is what moves the needle from just hustle to truly passive income potential.
Right.
If each of those assets only earned, say, 30 cents a day on average, that system could pretty quickly generate $9,000 a month.
The revolution here isn't the AI technology itself, it's the opportunity it gives to people who understand how to structure their content for maximum scale and distribution.
So your move now is to stop agonizing over perfection and start documenting the specific prompts and archetypes that you need for your niche. Figure out what your own winning comparison graphic format looks like.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into monetizing visual scale and the volume game.
We'll catch you next time.